All right, let's dive into the world of chiropractic care. Today, we're going to help you absolutely nail that chiropractic assistant interview using RoleCatcher. We've got some really awesome resources to share with you. We'll cover some practical tips, some insider knowledge, and even a bit of AI magic, to give you an edge.
Yeah, it's amazing what a combination of expert advice and AI analysis can do for your confidence going into an interview these days.
Okay, so first, let's paint a clear picture of what a chiropractic assistant actually does day to day. Both the RoleCatcher Career Guide and Interview Guide talk about this.
They described the role as, providing administrative and clinical support to chiropractors. Think of it like being the conductor of an orchestra.
Oh, okay.
Ensuring everything runs smoothly, harmoniously for the chiropractor and the patients.
So you're the backbone of the practice, like scheduling appointments, managing patient records, even assisting with those adjustments. Sounds like a pretty hands-on role.
Absolutely. And speaking of hands-on, let's not forget the pros and cons. The career guide does a good job of outlining these. Flexible hours, that's a major plus. Perfect for those who value work-life balance. And then, of course, the satisfaction of helping people improve their health is incredibly rewarding.
That's a big draw for going into healthcare, that's for sure. But the guide also mentions the physically demanding nature of the work. You're on your feet a lot, right? And there's the potential for emotional burnout, especially when dealing with patients in pain.
Right, and it's important to be aware of those challenges going in, but for the right person, those drawbacks are far outweighed by the positive aspects of the job. Especially, the job market's doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's good news for anyone considering this as a career.
Mm.
But, landing that dream job starts with acing the interview.
Mm.
And that's where the real prep work begins.
And that's where RoleCatcher can come in. Their AI can actually analyze the job description you're targeting. It can pinpoint the exact skills you should emphasize in your answers. It's like having a personalized cheat sheet.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, tailored to each specific interview.
So let's dive into some common interview questions. And we'll spend a good amount of time here, I think, because this is where the rubber meets the road, right?
Absolutely. So let's start with a classic. Tell us about your experience working in a chiropractic office. Now, some people might freeze if they haven't worked in that exact setting before.
Yeah, but I bet there are tons of transferable skills that people have from other jobs or volunteer work.
Exactly. The key is to highlight those transferable skills. Anything related to customer service, administrative work, even volunteer experience in a healthcare setting.
So even if I worked as a receptionist at a dentist's office, those skills could be valuable, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about framing your experience in a way that shows you can handle the demands of a chiropractic assistant role.
Okay, that makes sense.
And this is where brainstorming specific examples is really going to come in handy. Think back to situations where you demonstrated, organization, good communication skills. Think about times you had a knack for calming down, like stressed out people.
So let's say I had to deal with a super frustrated patient. Maybe they were upset about like a scheduling mix-up or something. How would I, spin that into a positive answer for the interviewer?
The STAR method is your secret weapon here. So describe the situation, the scheduling mix-up. Explain your task, which was to resolve the issue and calm the patient. Outline the action you took. Maybe you apologized, explain the situation calmly, offered a solution, and then wrap it up with the results. How did you successfully de-escalate the situation? How did you leave the patient satisfied?
Okay, I love that. It's a really clear and concise way to showcase your problem-solving skills, right?
Yes.
And your ability to handle pressure.
Absolutely. And it ties directly back to the career guide's emphasis on customer service. So you're actually demonstrating those skills in a real world scenario, which is always more impactful than just saying, I'm a people person.
Right, right. Show, don't tell.
Mm.
Okay, next question. This one's a little bit intimidating, I think. How do you handle difficult or upset patients? This is a tough one, right?
Yeah.
Because, dealing with people in pain, it can be challenging.
It's a crucial question, though, because maintaining a calm and professional demeanor is absolutely essential in this role.
Okay, so how do we tackle this one without sounding like robotic or rehearsed?
Authenticity is key here. Think about a specific example from your past, even if it's not directly related to healthcare. Maybe you had a challenging customer service interaction, or you had to mediate a disagreement between colleagues.
Okay, so I could talk about a time I had to deal with an angry customer who was demanding a refund. Explain how I stayed calm, listened to their concerns, followed company protocol to resolve the situation fairly.
Exactly. So you're not just stating your ability to handle difficult situations, you're illustrating it with a tangible example. And that's what makes your answer memorable and believable.
Right. Now, this next question is where things get a bit technical. What is your experience with EHR software?
Yeah, this is where the interviewer is assessing your comfort level with technology, which is a big part of modern healthcare.
So honesty is the best policy here, right? If I'm a newbie to EHR, I shouldn't pretend to be an expert.
Absolutely. If you have limited experience, be upfront about it, but emphasize your willingness to learn new systems quickly. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can really help you shine. It provides specific guidance on EHR software commonly used in chiropractic offices, so you can at least familiarize yourself with the basics before the interview.
That's super helpful. Okay. How do you prioritize and manage your tasks throughout the day? That feels like kind of a classic interview question, like you could hear that for almost any job.
It is a common question, but it's especially relevant for chiropractic assistants. They often juggle multiple tasks at once.
Right. So how do we make our answers stand out?
Well, the interview guide suggests painting a picture of a typical busy day. So describe how you handle incoming calls, schedule appointments, manage patient records, and assist with procedures, all while maintaining a calm and organized demeanor, of course.
So instead of just listing tasks, I'm showing the interviewer how I manage my time and prioritize.
Exactly. And to really drive the point home, mention specific tools or strategies you use to stay organized. Maybe you swear by a detailed to-do list, or you're like a master of scheduling apps or something like that.
Right, right. Okay, this next question takes us deeper into the chiropractic world. Can you describe your knowledge of chiropractic terminology and procedures?
Okay, yeah, so this is where the interviewer is gauging your understanding of the field. You don't need to be a walking encyclopedia or anything, but you should be familiar with the basics.
So I should definitely brush up on those terms and procedures beforehand, huh?
Absolutely. The Career Guide is a fantastic resource for this. It provides a glossary of key terms and a breakdown of common chiropractic procedures. And when you're answering this question, use precise language. Avoid vague answers or using jargon that you don't fully understand.
So instead of saying, I know a little bit about adjustments,
Yeah.
I could say something like, I'm familiar with various chiropractic adjustment techniques, such as the Gonstead technique and activator methods.
Now you're talking. That shows you've taken the time to familiarize yourself with the specifics of chiropractic care.
Okay, good.
And it demonstrates a genuine interest in the field, which is always a plus.
All right, this next question is all about ethics and confidentiality. How do you ensure patient confidentiality and privacy?
This is a critical one because maintaining patient privacy is paramount in any healthcare setting, especially given the sensitive nature of medical information.
And HIPAA compliance is a big deal here, right?
Huge. And the Career Guide really emphasizes the importance of HIPAA regulations. It provides a solid overview of what they entail. In your answer, mention any specific training or experience you have related to HIPAA compliance.
Okay, so I can say something like, at my previous job, we followed strict HIPAA guidelines, ensuring all patient information was stored securely and accessed only by authorized personnel.
Perfect. That demonstrates your awareness of the importance of patient privacy and your commitment to upholding ethical standards.
Okay, this next one really tests those customer service skills. How do you handle a high volume of phone calls and inquiries? I'm picturing a busy chiropractic office. Phones are ringing off the hook.
Oh, yeah. Phones are definitely going to be ringing a lot. And you need to be able to manage those calls efficiently and professionally, all while maintaining a friendly and helpful demeanor, of course.
So what are some pro tips for tackling this question?
Well, highlight your ability to prioritize calls, perhaps using a call log to track inquiries and ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. Emphasize your ability to stay calm under pressure, maintain a positive attitude even during peak hours.
And I could also mention using scripts or templates for common inquiries, right? To show that I'm thinking about ways to, streamline the process and provide consistent info to patients.
That's a great point. It demonstrates your proactive approach to problem solving and your ability to think critically about improving workflow.
Okay, let's move on to a question that might require a bit more specialized knowledge. Can you describe your experience with insurance billing and coding?
This question is designed to gauge your familiarity with the administrative side of healthcare, which is a significant part of a chiropractic assistant's role.
So if I have zero experience with billing and coding, should I just be honest about that?
Honesty really is the best policy. Acknowledge any limitations in your experience, but express a genuine interest in learning this area. You could even mention any relevant coursework or certifications you're pursuing.
And I bet RoleCatcher has resources on this too.
Absolutely. The Career Guide provides a basic overview of insurance billing and coding, and the AI can help you tailor your answer to highlight transferable skills, like attention to detail, accuracy, proficiency with numbers.
All right, last question for this section. How do you stay up to date with changes in the chiropractic field? This one feels like it's all about showing your passion.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to demonstrate your commitment to lifelong learning and professional growth, which are, highly valued qualities in any field.
So how can I impress the interviewer with my answer here?
Mention specific strategies you use to stay current. Maybe you subscribe to industry newsletters, attend conferences, follow reputable chiropractic organizations online.
I could even mention like a recent article I read in, a chiropractic journal or a webinar I attended.
That's a fantastic way to demonstrate your proactive approach to learning and show that you're genuinely invested in staying at the forefront of the field.
It's like saying, I'm not just here for a job, I'm here for a career.
Exactly. And that passion shines through in an interview.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here. We've explored the core duties of a chiropractic assistant, tackled some tough interview questions, and even learned how RoleCatcher's AI can help you craft really good answers.
Yeah, it's amazing how much valuable information we've unpacked in such a short amount of time.
But before we move on, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, the work environment.
Oh, right, yeah. It's important to paint a realistic picture of what it's actually like to work in a chiropractic office.
Can you elaborate on that a bit? What can a future chiropractic assistant expect, like in terms of the, day-to-day setting and the atmosphere?
The Career Guide paints a pretty vivid picture. It's typically an indoor setting, often fast-paced, bustling with activity. You'll be on your feet a lot, interacting with patients, chiropractors, other staff members. You'll likely be using technology, EHR systems, office software, things like that.
So strong communication skills are key, and you gotta be a little tech savvy as well.
Absolutely. And the guide also mentions the potential for exposure to, bodily fluids.
Oh, okay.
So being comfortable with those aspects of healthcare is important.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Given the, hands-on nature of chiropractic care.
What about the job market? Is it looking good for chiropractic assistants right now?
The guide cites data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it's actually predicting a 9% growth in employment for chiropractic assistants from 2019 to 2029.
Wow, that's a lot faster than average, I think. What's driving that growth?
The increasing demand for healthcare services, especially alternative therapies like chiropractic care. People are seeking holistic approaches to health and wellness, and chiropractic care fits right into that trend.
So it seems like a stable and promising career path with plenty of opportunities for growth.
It certainly has potential. And remember, the Career Guide also highlights potential advancement paths, like, becoming a specialized chiropractic assistant or even pursuing a career as a chiropractor, of course, with additional education.
Lots of options.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question about the role itself. What about the required knowledge and skills? The Career Guide mentions some key areas.
Yeah, it emphasizes a solid understanding of anatomy and physiology, medical terminology, and of course, basic office procedures.
Okay, so brushing up on those areas before an interview would be a smart move.
Absolutely. And the guide also stresses the importance of staying updated in the field, attending conferences, reading industry publications. All those things demonstrate a commitment to continuous learning.
It shows you're not just looking for a job, you're looking to build a career you're truly passionate about.
Exactly. And that passion will shine through in an interview.
Speaking of shining, I'm kind of curious to hear more about RoleCatcher's AI feedback. Does it just offer general suggestions or does it get more specific?
It actually gets incredibly specific. So imagine you're answering that question about handling difficult patients. The AI might suggest incorporating stronger action verbs to emphasize your proactive approach, or it might recommend adding quantifiable results to, highlight the positive impact you had.
Okay, so instead of saying, I calmed the patient down, I could say, I de-escalated the situation by actively listening to the patient's concerns and offering a solution that resulted in a 90% satisfaction rating.
Now you're talking. That's the kind of concrete, impactful language that hiring managers love to hear.
It's like having a secret weapon to transform your answers.
Precisely. And the best part is it's all tailored to the specific job you're applying for. So you're not just giving generic answers, you're showcasing your skills in a way that directly aligns with the employer's needs.
So if the job description emphasizes strong communication skills, the AI is going to help me craft answers that really highlight that strength.
Exactly. It's all about putting your best foot forward and demonstrating that you're the perfect candidate for the role.
Okay, so it sounds like RoleCatcher really takes the guesswork out of interview prep and gives you an edge.
It's all about empowering you to succeed.
Now, before we wrap up this section on interview questions, I want to touch on something the career guide mentions, specializations within the chiropractic assistant role. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, unfortunately, the guide doesn't go into detail about specific specializations. However, it does highlight the potential for growth and advancement in this career.
So even though we don't have the specifics, it's a good reminder that this role can be a stepping stone
Oh, yeah.
to even more specialized opportunities.
Exactly. It's a career with room to grow and evolve.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the role of a chiropractic assistant, tackled those tough interview questions, and learned how RoleCatcher can help you prepare.
Yeah, we've given our listeners a really solid foundation for their interview journey.
But before we say goodbye, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. Remember that. Tell us about your experience question.
The one that seems so simple, yet can be kind of tricky to answer effectively.
Yes. Think beyond just listing your previous jobs.
What's fascinating here is the potential to connect seemingly unrelated experiences to the role of a chiropractic assistant.
So even if you haven't worked in a chiropractic office before, you likely have skills and experiences that are relevant.
Yeah, think about times you've demonstrated, organization, communication, problem solving, customer service, even teamwork.
Those are all valuable traits.
Precisely. So take some time to reflect on your background and identify those hidden gems that you can highlight in your interview.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
It's all about showcasing your unique strengths,
Yeah.
demonstrating how your experiences, even those outside of healthcare, had prepared you for this role.
Exactly. It's about connecting the dots and telling your story in a way that resonates with the interviewer.
And remember, RoleCatcher's Career Guide is an excellent resource to help you explore those connections and identify transferable skills.
It's your guidebook
Yeah.
to navigating this exciting career path.
Well said. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of chiropractic assistants.
Yeah.
And we're confident that with the right preparation and, with the power of RoleCatcher's AI, you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
Best of luck on your interview journey.
Now, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's explore how RoleCatcher's AI can take your interview prep to the next level. We'll dive into their practice feature and see how it can help you refine those answers and boost your confidence.
It's like having a virtual interview coach right at your fingertips.
Yeah, it's really amazing, how technology can personalize the interview prep process these days.
Okay, so let's unpack this AI practice feature. How does it actually work?
Well, it's pretty intuitive, actually. You can choose from, a library of common interview questions. Or you can even input questions that are specific to the job that you're applying for. And then you just, answer the question out loud.
Oh, okay.
As if you were in the actual interview.
Okay, so I'm, talking to my computer. I'm practicing my answers. Then what?
That's where the magic happens. RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your response in real time. It provides feedback on several key aspects of your answer.
Like what kind of feedback? Give me the specifics.
For example, it assesses whether your answer is relevant to the question asked, Make sure you're not going off on tangents. It evaluates the clarity and structure of your response, helps you organize your thoughts logically.
So it's like having an editor for my interview answers, making sure they're concise and impactful. Precisely. And it can even analyze your tone of voice. Suggest adjustments if you sound too monotone or overly nervous.
Whoa, it analyzes my tone. Okay, that's pretty wild. I'm picturing this little AI coach okay, relax, take a breath, and try that again with a bit more enthusiasm.
You're not far off. It's really all about helping you present your best self, both in terms of content and delivery.
And I bet this practice feature also helps you identify those little filler words we all tend to use when we get nervous. Or like. I know I do that.
You nailed it. It can pinpoint those habits. help you replace them with more professional, more confident language.
This all sounds amazing. But I got to ask, what about, the visual aspect of interviewing? I mean, our body language, our eye contact, those things play a huge role too.
You're absolutely right, and RoleCatcher has that covered too. They have a video practice feature, so you can actually record yourself answering questions. And you get AI-powered feedback on your delivery.
So it's like having a virtual mirror that analyzes every aspect of my interview performance.
Precisely. It can assess your posture, your eye contact, even your facial expressions. Provides tips on how to, project confidence, engagement.
This all sounds so helpful. It's like having a personal interview coach, but without the, hefty price tag that comes with it.
Exactly. It's accessible, it's affordable, and it's tailored to your specific needs.
Okay, so we've covered the core duties of a chiropractic assistant. We've tackled those common interview questions. And we've explored how RoleCatcher's AI can help you prepare like a pro.
I think we've given our listeners a really solid foundation for their interview journey.
But before we wrap up, I do want to touch on something we haven't discussed yet, the emotional side of this role. The career guide mentions the potential for burnout, especially when you're dealing with patients who are in pain or, maybe struggling with chronic conditions.
That's a really crucial aspect to consider. While helping patients achieve better health is incredibly rewarding, it can also be emotionally taxing.
So how can a future chiropractic assistant kind of prepare for those emotional challenges? What advice would you give?
Well, self-care is essential. Making time for activities that replenish your emotional energy is crucial, whether it's exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones. Find what works for you and make it a priority.
That's good advice for anybody in a helping profession, I think.
Mhm.
It's easy to get so caught up in caring for others that you neglect your own well-being.
Exactly. And it's important to remember you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
Taking care of yourself allows you to better care for your patients.
And I imagine, like, building those strong relationships with your colleagues, that can also provide emotional support.
Absolutely. Having a supportive team to lean on makes all the difference, especially on those challenging days.
Okay, so we've covered, like, the emotional aspects of the role. I want to circle back to the technical side for a moment. We talked about EHR software, but what about billing and coding? The career guide mentions that as a key knowledge area.
It is a significant part of a chiropractic assistant's role. You'll be handling insurance claims, submitting bills, ensuring accuracy and coding procedures.
So even if someone doesn't have direct experience with billing and coding, it'd be wise to at least familiarize themselves with the basics, right?
Absolutely. The career guide provides a basic overview, and of course there are plenty of online resources available.
I bet RoleCatcher's AI can also help with this.
You bet. The AI can tailor your answer to highlight those transferable skills, like attention to detail, accuracy, proficiency with numbers. It can also suggest ways to frame your response, to demonstrate a willingness to learn new systems quickly.
Okay, let's switch gears for a moment and talk about professional development.
Yeah.
The career guide mentions the importance of staying updated in the chiropractic field. But, beyond attending conferences or reading journals, what are some other ways a chiropractic assistant can continue to learn and grow?
That's a great question. One avenue to explore is specialization. While the career guide doesn't go into detail about specific specializations, it does mention that opportunities exist to focus on certain areas of chiropractic care.
Oh, okay. So like a
Oh.
chiropractic assistant could potentially specialize in, sports injuries or pediatrics or even prenatal care.
Exactly. Pursuing a specialization allows you to deepen your knowledge and expertise in a particular area, makes you a more valuable asset to a chiropractic practice.
And I imagine like specialized certifications or continuing education courses, those could open doors to those opportunities.
Absolutely. Investing in your professional development shows a commitment to excellence, a desire to, stay at the forefront of the field.
And it can lead to, career advancement, higher earning potential.
It's a win-win.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. From the practical aspects of the role to the emotional challenges to the importance of professional development. I think our listeners have a pretty solid understanding of what it takes to succeed as a chiropractic assistant.
Yeah, I think we've really equipped them with the knowledge and the tools they need to ace that interview and embark on, a rewarding career.
But before we say goodbye, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
I'm all ears.
Remember, the interview is your chance to shine. It's an opportunity to showcase your passion, your skills, your unique personality.
Yeah, it's about connecting with the interviewer on a human level, demonstrating why you're the perfect fit for the role.
And don't forget to use RoleCatcher to your advantage.
Hmm.
Their resources and AI-powered tools can give you that extra edge you need to stand out from the crowd.
It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
Well said. We wish you the best of luck on your interview journey.
Yeah, we're rooting for you.
And remember, even if this specific opportunity isn't a perfect fit, the skills you've gained preparing for this interview are valuable.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. What we've discussed today can be applied to a whole range of healthcare roles.
So keep exploring, keep learning, keep that momentum going. You've got this.
And before we sign off, let's not forget to give a shout out to RoleCatcher's incredible library of career guides.
Yes, they have guides for so many different career paths, not just healthcare.
What's fascinating is how they manage to provide such detailed and insightful information for each career. You get a real sense of what the day-to-day work is like, the skills you need, even potential salary ranges.
It's like having a personal career counselor in your pocket, guiding you through the ins and outs of different professions.
And remember all that talk about transferable skills?
Yeah,
The career guides can help you identify those connections, See how your experience might align with a variety of career paths.
so even if you're not 100% set on being a chiropractic assistant, browsing through these guides can open your eyes to new possibilities.
It's all about expanding your horizons, discovering opportunities you might not have even considered before.
Well said. So whether you're laser focused on chiropractic care or simply curious about different career paths, definitely check out RoleCatcher's career guides.
They're a fantastic resource
Yeah.
for anyone navigating the world of work.
And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of chiropractic assistants. We hope you found this deep dive informative and inspiring.
Yeah, I think we covered so much ground, from understanding the role to mastering interview techniques to exploring the broader career landscape.
We're confident that with the right preparation and the amazing resources from RoleCatcher, you'll be well on your way to achieving your career goals.
Remember, believe in yourself, stay curious, and never stop learning.
Until next time, happy job hunting.